Okay, it's Saturday, December 2nd, 10:29 p.m. I just wanted to talk about a dream that I wanted to wait till I got some more information. Um, I knew it was Star Family, angelic Star Family, just wasn't sure exactly which ones they were uh, because they were kind of Pleiadian, but they were different. Okay, so let me just talk about the dream first, and then I'll talk about the research that I found. So here, let me point you guys. No, now the fan's gonna start up. Let me point you guys towards the fire so you can see something maybe. Well, it'll show a little bit of, okay, something interesting at least to look at while I talk. Okay, so the dream was two different scenes, and it's very, very interesting that I think just today I put it together that they were very Geminian, very Gemini energy, and the full moon's in Gemini. Okay, so the first scene was, I felt like there was somebody else there, but I just remember speaking to one. Excuse me, and he was in male form, as a looked like a police officer, like a city police officer, like dark blue, indigo blue. Okay. So he looked Pleiadian because the blonde hair and blue eyes, but I knew they weren't because, well, I say they, but at this point it was just one specifically that I was interacting with. But so it was just daylight. It looked like we were just kind of like around here, just kind of on a paved, like, city road, but kind of lots of trees around, and kind of like right outside of a neighborhood or something where you just start going up the hill and it's, alpine or whatever. But so it was like we were pulled over somewhere, like I was helping them find something or whatever it was. And he seemed kind of calm and nonchalant. He was just listening and wasn't, which was good because I noticed myself kind of wanting to get a little excited, like upset excited because of the nature of the situation, and then I saw him in a police officer uniform, and I don't, we'll just say, yeah. They haven't been my favorite uniform to interact with, we'll just say that. So I think that's why he was kind of acting nonchalant and not trying to give too much energy, because later they really did. But so I think that's why, because I was kind of like, why are you kind of like acting nonchalant, like you don't care, like any other police officer, right? But I think he was trying to kind of be nonchalant because I had that rage thing kind of coming up, bubbling up, like, oh, just another one who's not going to listen to me. And then police officer, yeah, that's last person I want to be talking to about, if I have a problem, I just try to resolve all my issues myself, and not, the police have always just made things worse. And anyway, in my case, I'm just speaking from my experience. No, I think there was one time where they were nice in Stockton where I had an asshole boyfriend, and like 7 police officers showed up, and they were all cute and young, and they were all so nice. Anyway, that was, one experience out of, not that I've had a ton of experiences, but, just dealing with drama and psycho people and whatever, and then they make you want to go psycho on them because you just want peace, right? So you learn to just live in solitude. But anyway, so I'm just trying to explain the feeling of the dream. So it's light, broad daylight, like noon, whatever, and like I said, we were pulled over on the side of a paved highway, not freeway, like a single lane. Trees all around, nice, peaceful setting. There wasn't noise. There wasn't a crash site. It was just me and him. I kind of felt like there was a presence of something to be discovered or something. It wasn't, but there wasn't commotion and noise or nothing was going on. It was just him making contact with me and communicating. So I knew there was something he wanted to know, that he was investigating, and I had information for him. So now it's cutting to we're kind of walking down this corridor, into a corridor, into a we're in a university, big hallway. I don't know. I don't see anything. We're just kind of walking, and we enter this big room. It's like a big lab room, kind of. There's a monitor, and it's bright lights and stuff, sterile classroom type environment, like I always dream of. So one of them, so he was on my left, so I think that he was kind of the police officer energy, and then there was another one on my right that I kind of sensed in the first scene, but I didn't really see because I was because I believe these were Arcturians according to my research. I had to be really engaged because they speak, whereas Pleiadians, it's just heart communication, and so you don't even really necessarily need to see their face, which I haven't really, except for that one time where I believe it was Archangel Gabriel, and it was eye to eye, I saw the blue eyes and the blonde hair, the haircut, everything. So, so it's if it's not really important to make eye contact unless you're really gonna peer into each other's eyes, because they're very much heart communication, Pleiadians. So, but these beings, so they look just like him as far as blonde hair, blue eyes, but they were shorter and more staunchier, stockier, whereas the Pleiadians they seem like they have big, milky, thick bones, but they don't, they're just kind of slender, and the Arcturians are more had more meat on their bones, okay, more muscle tone type, thicker, stockier build, and shorter, little bit, couple inches taller than me, maybe. I think I was just up a little bit because of this or something, but it just kind of just an average size, not very tall. And you had to spit, I remember having to really from my gut gurgle, bubble up actual words, whereas with the Pleiadians there was never, it was always just heart communication. So I remember really having to force my energies to it'd be interesting if I was recording myself as I was sleeping, if I was actually, because I've woken myself up talking in my sleep, or giggling, laughing, or spitting, lots of different things. So just with the that had to come up with, to the gusto to get the words out, I've really felt it coming up, really having to focus in and hone in on that. So they definitely use words to communicate. They're very much informational, investigative. I felt a protective thing. They're very calming and nonchalant. It wasn't a lot of heart. It wasn't cold, but it was more like that, just that Gemini black and white, just the facts, ma'am, kind of, okay. But there was a calmness to him. But like I said, it was verbal communication. And so we're walking down, and as we're walking, and I don't think he has a police officer uniform on anymore, but I believe he's the same one. And now we're in this like classroom, laboratory, whatever. And there's one on my right that's looking at a monitor, and it looks black and white. Things are moving around. He's investigating that. And then I'm still talking to the one on my left and telling him about Morgellons. And I remember explaining very specifically, they're 2 titanium hexagons. And I remember him saying, and I just remembered again just now, the one on my right said, oh, like, because he was investigating more the scientific aspects of it. And he said, okay, like, hexagon, yeah, not 8. I'm like, yeah, no, not octagon, not 8, definitely 6. That's hexagon. And so we were very specific about, and I'm like, yeah, it's just like a sandwich. 2 hexagon pieces of titanium, very shiny little 6-sided little hexagons of titanium, and then a piece of blue biofilm in the center that's the same shape, same size. It's like a little sandwich, and the blue biofilm is where they inject the Morgellons and probably other things too, I don't know, but they inject the Morgellons into that, and it's like it's sandwiched in between there. It's like a little glitter fleck and blah blah. So I just like what I said just now, except for the blah blah blah. I just mean blah 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 as far as like all the other Morgellons information, but I didn't. I just was to the point as far as how they're transferred. That's what they wanted to know about. What it looked like, to identify it as best I could, like visually. Just whatever information I had, it was specific to the little glitter flecks. And I don't know if they can't help us with it unless we literally have to tell them, and even if they already know about it, or I don't know exactly how all the free will and blah 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 stuff works. Yada 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 and blah 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 blah. So I just related it to the Gemini energy, because the full moon's in Gemini, and there were 2 of them, and that it was very much like facts, black and white, good and bad. Morgellons is evil and wrong, what they're doing, the government, all this stuff with the chemtrails and everything, and it's it was also the like Gemini energy is like the Knave of Swords, the Watchers, okay, and they gather information, and so I remember, I don't want to get emotional now, but because I'm just so tired, I probably won't anyway, because I'm about ready to go to bed. It's like, a little bit past 10, so we're getting tired, and just put the boy to bed, and so we're about ready to crash out, hit the hay, so to say. But I just remember feeling like I was listened to for the first time. Oh yeah, and that another reason, another reason why I think I kept dreaming of my ex that I was with for 9 years, and I'm like, why is he coming back in again? I'm like, okay, we're just hanging out. It's just like hanging out with my brother, kind of. But then if we, like, we're like French kissing, okay? I'm just like, there was nothing, no feeling, I'm like, well, okay, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? Okay, whenever I'm in a dream and things are just happening, I'm just like, okay, why is this happening? What am I supposed to know? Okay, I'm just registering the feelings, taking in the environment. I'm just being a witness, right, to what's happening. And what I think it was not being listened to. And, because it was like, yeah, everything's all good, it's just fine, comfortable, no sparks, because there's nothing, like, I'm like, why am I kissing him? What is this? What, like, what does this mean? What am I supposed to know here? But I think it was just, like, yeah, everything was all good except for what? That I never felt listened to in the whole 9 years that I was with him, and, because it's just like a lot of people experience this with family, friends, whatever. You'll tell them something over and over and over. And no matter how many times you tell them, it's like they won't listen until some stranger or a doctor or somebody else tells them. And then they'll come back and they'll be like, they'll say to you, oh, did you know, da-da-da-da-da-da? And you'll be like, yeah, I sure do. I've been, telling you that for, forever. Right? But they don't hear it until somebody else. But the person that they're supposed to, is supposed to be their partner and everything, they don't listen to that. It was just after so many years of that, that's why it was like, okay, 9 years, and then it was over. Because I was just someone who needs to speak and express themselves and then never feels listened to. That's just, I guess, the cross that I bear in this lifetime. But it's not, I don't care if I get 0 views. It's not about that. I know that I just have to speak no matter what. It's not about if someone listens or not. It's just something in my gut I have to get out or I can't sleep. So the angels won't let me rest. That's my team. We're part of a team. So you have to pull your weight. Excuse me. So that's what I'm doing. So I think I really needed to just tell somebody that and get it out and feel listened to. And from someone who's intelligent, an intelligent being who has knowledge and awareness, and it wasn't about compassion because that wasn't necessarily their angle. But they were very lively. When we were in the lab room, they were I felt that Gemini, because Gemini can be very fly by the seat of your pants, and things are intriguing. They move on to the next thing because they're very interested. Things are very intriguing and magical and interesting and fascinating, and they like to discern and decipher and figure stuff out. And so I really felt good, positive, high vibrational energy in that sense. So it was a positive experience. And my dad's funny because I told him that. He's just like, well, just be careful, because they can be manipulative. But, I sit with things for a while and stew in the energy and reflect back on it and interpret all the details and do research and see if I get any synchronicities and see if it's just some random thing. Usually I know if it's blonde hair, blue eyed, it's just, so far, maybe, as, because they don't want to scare the shit out of me, I don't know. I've dealt with all the demons and stuff in the astral and stuff. So it's nothing. I mean, nothing would really surprise me. I mean, being in the 3D and something just appears before me, I'd probably shit my pants. But I mean, I can't. I'd pee a little bit probably, or definitely throw up. Who knows? Not do anything crazy like, call the police or anything like that. I'm not like that out of my mind to where I'd like, go tell my neighbors about it or like call the police, go screaming out in the street. No, we'd keep that all under wraps. But I don't know, maybe as I get, I would say I'm ready for it, but as far as it being in the 3D, well, if I wasn't, if I'm not ready, it'll happen when I'm ready, or if it's not meant to, then it won't, or whatever, however it's supposed to be. Same with like ascension. If we go to heaven to be with God, or it's going to be down here on earth, or however it's supposed to be. If we're going to travel the galaxies with our star family, whatever God's plan is, however it unfolds, it's whatever. I'm right here, right now, accepting what is. God has really been working with me too, with my anger, and bringing in more grace through really purifying, burning that just fury, rage. I wouldn't even call it anger, because it's just, things have settled in, though, star family, galactic family, Morgellons, just all these waking up to all this stuff. So once you've been ebbing and flowing with it for a while, you start coming back into center, into balance, into alignment again, and just, coming more and more into your peace. And so it just felt really good, really therapeutic to talk to them and get that out. And I was like, wow, I guess I really needed that. I didn't even, God, you don't even know you have blocks or whatever, and God will give you a dream, and you may not know exactly what it means, but it'll unfold, line upon line, precept upon precept. And I was like, wow, I have this unresolved issue with this ex that I'm never being listened. I've mentioned that before, but I was like, they really helped me work through it, because the Morgellons thing lingering, and just like, being done talking about that as far as in videos or discussing it with anyone, because I'm like, I'm at the point where it's like, if it's not going to do anything to get it to stop, and for them to stop doing this to us, then there's no point in me talking about it. People can look up how to heal yourself, this, that, baking soda water, all these, find your path, find what works for you. But so I kind of just gave up on that and was like, and I got it out of my body, and I think about people who still haven't. I pray for them and all that, but we just move on and move forward. But they brought that back up, and apparently I had to sift through that and see what was still lingering. And I think that's what it was, not feeling listened to, not feeling vindicated. I really feel like there's going to be some big disclosures, and not just like Hebrews being compensated, but I mean like anyone who has had Morgellons, like, you're going to be compensated big time. I mean, big time. And it's going to come out of nowhere. You're not going to have to do anything, file papers, go to court. It's just our angels, our galactic star family, our ancestors, our team. God has given the green light. Or else they wouldn't have asked me. So there are benevolent beings who actually care about us and see what's happening and want to work with us. And I don't feel imposed upon at all. I feel like they've done nothing but help me and assist me, help me do chakra work, clear out chakras, give me my activations, everything. Like, I am so grateful to God, all my ancestors, the animal spirits that help guide me, give me messages, all the ones who have come before me. You know, and the ancient ones who come from the stars, I mean, that's as ancient as it gets. And I know them, and they're my family, and I love them just as I love my own son, just as if they're right here 3D in my reality. And they are. I saw the ships. I didn't see the beings, but but I believe those were Pleiadians. So, and I've seen the ships twice now. So, and I think I'm living in a hot spot. Maybe it's the timing, and when God says that you're ready, and when all that aligns. So it's all about the alignment. You know, when it all aligns, the electricity flows, just like when you flip a switch. And what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Well, I don't really want to go into any twin flame stuff, but I do want to share a couple of things. Okay, we haven't gone too long. So the research that I did on Arcturus. Okay, now I'm thinking, okay, just Arc and Taurus. Arcturus, like Taurus, like the Pleiades, okay, the seven sisters, and Arc, okay, the Ark of the Covenant, Arc, overseeing, protecting the seven sisters, the seven feminine expressions of creation, okay, that came from the masculine Father, God, electric, that came out of the divine womb, okay. Now, who is the mother? And she's the mother of all masculine and feminine. But the expressions of God, okay, when first, okay, he created the this and the that and the, okay. Now, those are all feminine expressions, though. In the beginning, there was the Word, okay, that's feminine. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So everything that he expresses now into form is feminine. So all expressions, okay, that can be experienced, those are feminine. So you see how it goes 2, 1, 2. It's like this. I'll have to do some diagrams. I'll do some diagrams, not tonight, but on another video. I'll get out the because it's easier to explain these concepts. You're talking about 1, 2, 1, and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, okay, so, but anyway, but when you have a visual, even if it doesn't really register and make sense, your subconscious mind, it'll activate things in your subconscious mind, okay, and things will click, synchronicities will happen to confirm dreams activation. Okay, so it's visual symbols, colors, you don't necessarily have to have a language to interpret things. A sound, you see it. Your conscious mind doesn't have to understand it. Your subconscious mind will, and that will eventually bubble forth into the conscious mind, and you'll have a more full spectrum understanding of it. So that's what, like, meditating on like sacred art, sacred geometry, different colors and shapes, can clear chakras and activate, and so your energy centers bring you into your heart space. So yeah, meditating on visual sacred art, sacred geometry, different colors, just a color, just a, you know, canvas that's all red, okay, just to activate your root chakra, whatever, clear it out. So that's what I'm talking about. So with Arcturus, okay, so I got off on a tangent because I'm like, Arcturus, okay, the arc over Taurus. So the Great Diamond, it also has to do with the Great Diamond, which is called an asterism, okay. And Hans Ray, interesting, Hans A. Ray, Ray, excuse me, called it the Virgin's Diamond because it has spica or spica, which is Avir. The wheat of Virgo is part of it. So this is the Great Diamond. So there's Leo. It has a Leo, Denebola, the tail of Leo, the wheat of Virgo, Cor Caroli, that's Canis Venatica, that's one of the dogs that are Canis Cane. Okay, so, but Arcturus, Boo, it looks like A and then B-O-O. That's funny because that's my late sister's past. Her nickname was Boo. So Arcturus is the brightest star in, I'm not sure how to say this because I'm not an astronomer or anything, but Bootes, B-O-O-T-E-S. Now, this Great Diamond, okay, so now Boo or Boots. Okay, so we clicked on that, and the heater just clicked on right when I said that. So, oh, and interesting, my twin was born in 1988, and there's 88 constellations or modern constellations, so very interesting. So fourth brightest star, and it is associated with Enlil. Okay. Now, in ancient Babylon, the stars of Bootes, I'll say it like that because that's what it kind of feels like it wants to be called, that. Bootes. So they were named, it was, the stars of Bootes were known as Shu-Pa, S-H-U-P-A. Shu-Pa, like Powell's Idom, Poseidon, and Shu, like Isho. So Shu-Pa, they were apparently depicted as the god Enlil who is the leader of the Babylonian pantheon and special patron of farmers. So, interesting how it's called Abu. And I was just looking up, just talking about and researching Nabu, which is the ancient Assyrian, Akkadian god that's associated as or paralleled with Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, all the same person. So this Nabu, so Arcturus is called Abu, A-B-O-O, Abu, like Nabu. And Arcturus is associated with Enlil. So that brings us back to the ancient Assyrians again. So it's confirmation of what I was getting with Nabu was right on the money, because this just led me right back to that. And it said it's the fourth brightest star, and so the three southernmost stars are sometimes regarded as being their own asterism, the spring triangle. Okay, and it's an upward facing triangle, like the opening is upward. I would say downward pointing, I should say. Yeah, downward pointing. So upward, the opening is facing upward. So that's the feminine. The spring triangle. So like I said, it's associated with Virgo and Leo. My twins of Virgo, Leo rising. This was at something 4-star site, the celestial. That's interesting. Another 4-star. It's all this 4s all over. And 616 AM. So 6-1 combination numbers mean restoration. And this was last edited on the 22nd of October. So there's 22 at 23:23. Okay, so military time, 23:23. And there's 88 constellations. I wasn't aware of that. My twin was born in 1988. So with the Great Diamond, Arcturus, Abu, Nabu. Now alchemy. Okay, that alchemy card, the temperance card, card number 14. 7 + 7, that keeps coming up. Okay, there's 7s all over this. Now Arcturus is red giant. And about a little bit bigger than our sun. And 170 times as luminous. I believe they said the fourth brightest star, right? And there was something else about the 4. It's a alpha something type of star, and I looked up what alpha. I can't find it now, but it means something to do with 4 again. So Arcturus, if you think of the Archangels, the 4 Archangels, the Ark of the Covenant. Like on the bottom of the Tree of Life, or Malkuth, and then you have Tiferet, that's Michael, and then you have Chesed on the right, which would be Jesus or Raphael, and then you have on the left Archangel Gabriel, Gabriel, and that's Gevura. So this effort's is of the same name, and Chesed kind of sounds like Christed, Chesed. That probably I haven't, not that I remember, but I'm sure it's like Hebrew-ish for golden something. So I was looking on here because I found so his birth year is on here too. I mean, his birth year is on here, 1988, and my birth year is on here too, 1976. Just on here doing the research, looking for like number synchronicities. So they're talking about the World's Fair with Arcturus. Okay, so the 1933 Chicago World's Fair, and then they mention it again in the 1977 documentary Powers of 10. So there's 33, 77, 88. We had 23, 23. I just saw 1111 right here on citation number 29. Yeah, it goes 10, 11, 11 slash. So there, it's just all these blue. They just stick out and catch your eye. But anyway, I found my birthday was on here somewhere. They were talking about something 1976. So anyway, they're talking about how it's related to Enlil. And 1100 BC. Okay, another, and then circa 211 BC. All these 11s. Oh, oh, it's mentioned in the Hebrew scriptures, and I have to look that up and read it. But you can look it up for yourself and read it. I don't have a Hebrew Bible, so I'm gonna have to look it up online, and I'll just read it for myself. But in the Hebrew scriptures, okay, so make sure you look up Hebrew scriptures, not King James Version, okay, in the Hebrew Bible, Arcturus is referred to in Job 38, 32. 32, and remember, I just said 23, 23. So, it was linked to the god Enlil and also known as Shudun, yoke, okay, and I had a very moving supernatural vision of the cosmic eye, which I didn't know what it was at the time. I didn't come across that till months later when I was looking up something else, and I was like, oh my god, it was a thumbnail, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I saw in my vision. And then they were talking about how it's the cosmic eye and blah blah blah. So, but when I said, okay, God, give me a vision, let me know whatever you want to tell me right now, I'm open to receiving your message. And so as soon as I closed my eyes, I saw what I thought looked like a yoke. Okay, but if you look up the cosmic eye, the cosmic vision, okay, that's what it looks like. And it all just happened, boom, boom, boom. I was listening to my brother out here on YouTube, and he plays pastor or preacher, and he was saying, he gets like all excited in this, and he was saying something, whatever he was saying, yoke came out right when I had the vision of that thing that all I could explain looked like was like a blue yolk inside a white yolk, and it was leaking out, and it was like black all behind it, and and it was so quick and so fast that I just started crying because he was like, yoke, blah, 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 yoke, blah, 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 yoke. And he's like a really, he doesn't really play him anymore, but he played him a couple times, you know, he was playing him more during this time for whatever reason. Maybe he was on fire or something, so he was sharing it on his channel. And it just so happened to be right then, and he was getting all passionate, and I saw the yoke vision, and he was going, yoke, blah, 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 yoke. Okay. So when I see this, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I mean, and then Job, it relates to Arcturus is in Job, and 211, I keep seeing that everywhere, and that's like the welfare number, like in California, it's like the help. 211 is like welfare services, helpline, resources and stuff, whatever. So that's funny. Oh, here, this is the one I was talking about, how it's related with, okay, So it's like Abu, the Greek A, and then looks like a capital B, looks like a lowercase a space, capital B, lowercase o, Abu. Okay, just like Nabu. So I'm thinking alchemy, Thoth. And when I was flipping angel cards, Zafkiel came out with a compassion, and I said, yeah, definitely that's a good thing to focus on. Let's do that. Give me one more. Gabriel flew out with grace that has a freaking swan on it, and I was just talking about Cygnus and the swan, and so I started crying. Of course. I mean, it was just too much. And so I look at the bottom of the deck, it's Gabriel again with inspiration. But I peeked behind it and it was Archangel Michael with transmutation with Thoth on there. And behind there was another Archangel Michael with enchantment. Okay, and then, did I look at the next top card? I think it was, it was Raziel with intuition. So, it's just, these stars lately are okay, so it's just confirmation with the Arcturus being right on, because Michael stood out to me. I'm like, okay, there's Thoth, because the Temperance card kept coming out, and with the Heindel deck, it literally on the card says alchemy, and that's what the Temperance is. But so, right here it says, for Arcturus, in the Middle Ages, Arcturus was considered a Behenian fixed star and attributed to the stone jasper and the plantain herb. And the Cornelius Agrippa, I'm not privy to whatever that is. So I was just saying. I didn't do all my research before I popped on here because I'm not trying to sound like I know everything, but sometimes you just have to share what you know and whatever. So where'd I go? Okay, so Cornelius listed its Kabbalistic sign, and it shows the little sign. It's really small. It's hard to see. It looks like a number line, and then it's over on the left with a it's kind of hard, this just looks like a number line, and it's so anyway, it says under the alternate name Alchemist, so Alchemeth, so Alchemist, like alchemy. So again, it's called Abu, so like Nabu, alchemy, Thoth, so Arcturus. The Archangels, Michael is a very powerful one. So I believe, and like I was saying, Arc and Taurus very much has to do with like the divine feminine, the seven sisters, the feminine creation, the high priestesses, and all that time of, okay, Taurus. In my dream, I was told I was in Taurus school. So it's just divine feminine, okay, protecting the divine feminine. Arcturus, the Archangels, it's the fourth brightest star, it's in the alpha something, whatever, however it's classified, and alpha has to do with 4. I get, so I'm just like 4, 4, 4. Okay, so I'm like, okay, so this is something to do with the Archangels. The Arcturians are they work very closely with the Archangels, and I felt very much they're very science-y, okay, alchemy, healing, so Archangel Raphael, okay, Jesus, Melchizedek, the order of Melchizedek, so, and there's a confirmation with Gabriel when I did the angel, so Michael came up, so it was just like, okay, I'm like, and Uriel, the reading that I shared. So those are like the four that, and they have been speaking, especially Gabriel lately. So Arcturians, I think they work very closely with those four archangels. Uriel, which is also Ariel, same. Raphael, which is, on the right hand, Jesus, or the Melchizedek. Okay, so that's Raphael. And then we have Michael. That's like the perfect reflection of God. And then left hand we have Gabriel. And then Uriel or Ariel is Malkuth, the earth, of the fire coming out of. So, well, Gabriel's really the fire, but he's the breath. So, yeah, there's, let's see. Well, Uriel, I would think Uriel, earth, yeah. But there's a fire to that, because Aries and the fire sign, and so there's a fire to that. Well, see, the earth brings in the water and the fire. Yeah, that makes sense, because the earth, Malkuth, Uriel, Ariel, brings in from the right the water, okay, Jesus, Chesed, and the fire from the left, Gabriel. Yeah, because the center, green, esteem, where God is, you have to, you've got to be the materialization of all the elements. So, and then Micah, that's the perfect reflection, the mirror of God. So, that would be the air. And I know people say, oh, Satan is the prince of the air. Not really. I mean, well, if he's the prince of the air, then Michael's, then he's the prince bitch of the air, because Michael's really the one who is like the master, the prince of the air. So Satan would have to be the prince's bitch. So, yeah, right? Because Michael steps on his damn neck, right? Yeah, he rules the air, Michael. Gabriel really is the one who rules the air. People get ideas from the Bible and they don't really understand what they mean metaphysically and stuff. I just kind of go by, no, I definitely really absolutely go by my own experience. So I'm just checking here to see if there's, I'm tired, guys, excuse me, but I wanted to get this out because I felt it was important, and I didn't want to, have one more night of sleep and another day pass, and so, so I'm just seeing, I see 77s all over these numbers. There's 77 there, another 77, 11s, God, I'm not even looking. There's a whole chart down here with all these red numbers everywhere. Star clusters, globular blah. Okay, there's a million just lists of numbers. No, we're not doing that. So, yeah, I just thought that was interesting that it's in the Hebrew Bible and Job. Yeah, so it's interesting to, you go down to the citations, like ancient origins of the stars, and check out some of the citations where Wikipedia gets their information, and then you can really delve more deeply into these
topics if you're interested. Because I saw one book that, where did it go? I just said it, but I didn't say it exactly what it, because I lost it on the list here. But yeah, anyway, just yeah, if you're so inclined and you want to look further into this kind of stuff, interests you, it's really fascinating me right now. Angels, our team, our galactic family of light, our ancient ancestors, you know, just all the benevolence that we're working together to heal, to inform, to bring the light of God to the world, in very many different ways. So healing, purifying, truth, exposing lies. So that's part of purifying too, right? Purging out all the lies and exposing them so that we can get to truth, because that's where peace is. Yeah, they're talking about all this, all the different names that the Maori, and the Hawaiians and Tahitians had for Arcturus. The Inuit called Arcturus the Old Man, or the First Ones. Okay. The Mi'kmaq of Eastern Canada saw Arcturus as Ko'o Gwes. Like Cuckoo Gwes, it looks like. Ko'o Gwes. The owl. That's what that means. The owl. Oh, very interesting. And the Tuamotuan constellation Tekiva. So it was equated to the however you say that, Tuamotuan constellation Tekiva. And I had a dog. My first dog name. I named her Kiva. First dog that I had on my own as an adult. Yeah. So they called Arcturus Tekiva. And the Kivas, if you know what those are. So, what other interesting stuff here? Oh, the northern New South Wales knew Arcturus as Guembila, which means red. Now that sounds, does that not sound like Gabriel? Like Guam. Guembila, Mbila, it sounds like umbilical cord. Guembila, and it means red. Okay, that's Archangel Gabriel's color, and that word just sounds like Gabriel. So the Arcturus, definitely, those four archangels definitely work very closely. There's some suggestions that Arcturus is a binary star. 12 times the mass of Jupiter. Wow. 1.1 astronomical units, so there's another 11 again. There's just some really cool stuff. I want to make sure I got it all in here. Yeah, moving rapidly, 122 kilometers a second, so another 22 will happen every 4,000 years, another 4. Anyway, let's not get too deep into all the numbers and stuff. Oy, oy. I'll have to take a nap tomorrow. Just getting too into the numbers tonight. There was something I was looking at. It said 1515 and then 1551, and I'm like, oh man, why do I gotta have all these matrixal numbers? Okay, so 3.3 light years distance from Arcturus. So they're okay. There's 33. Again, I'm just seeing the numbers as I'm looking for this other information. I think we got it all then. So it's talking about the mythology with, oh, that's right. So it's, if you keep following the Big Dipper, the handle, okay, it'll lead to Arcturus, that big bright star. And the Greek name is a reference to its being the brightest star in the constellation next to Ursa Major, the greater bear. And I kept getting, and that's also in the Bible, Ursa Major, Pleiades, and now I know that they, in the Hebrew, in Job, they mention Arcturus. What else? And Orion. So the bear, scorpion, the seven sisters, and Arcturus. I don't know the Bible that well, so I don't know if there are any other constellations in the Bible, but as I come across them, I discover whether they are in there or not. Or if I'm reading the Bible and I come across a constellation that I didn't come across first. So, again, okay, so the bear. So, and it means, so Arcturus derives from the ancient Greek Arcturos, means guardian of the bear. Arctos, bear. Oh yeah, and I think of like Arctic. That would make sense because the bear, how they hibernate and stuff. So it makes sense that Arctos, that would be synonymous with bear. Also brown, barren. Brown is also associated with bear. So Uros, which is watcher, guardian. Okay, so there you go. The Archangels, okay? Just looking at the Greek mythology really quickly. Anyway, I think you can, this is just Wikipedia. You can read about the Greek mythology associated with it if you're interested. In another video I'll get into a couple other things, mentioning since I just mentioned the Greek, I believe this was Greek, Urania. So Urantia, because I was saying ranch, however, Morantia, Morovia, Urantia, anyway, trail of breadcrumbs or mistyping or something, however it happens. Oh, and then Uranus, no, Neptune. Is that how I got to Urania? Because the trident was sticking out, and I'm like, I think that's Neptune, because the trident kept sticking out from the tarot cards. And so, anyway, however it happened, I landed at Urania, and I will talk about her just in a video all to herself. And it'll just be a short little one, but I'll probably just have that be just all her, and not too in depth. And if you want to research it more for yourself, you can. So anyway, that's Arcturus, and I went on for about an hour, huh? The dream was about half of it, and then I had to share the research that I did, and that was about a half hour too. So, all right, I love you guys. Peace, blessings.